So this is going to be my next silver project. I'm going to try and convert as much of this sterling silver, just a little bit of it, into pure silver. So as you can see here, we have 18.7374 grams of sterling silver there. If we look at the math over here, we have grams. In order to get a troy ounce is what we measure it by, there are 31.1 grams equals 1 troy ounce. So 18.74 divided by 31.1 equals 0.602 troy ounces. So just a little bit over a half of a troy ounce. But you got to remember that sterling silver is only 92.5% silver. The other 7% is other metals, copper usually. So we have to times this number by 0.925 and we come up with 0.557 troy ounces. So what I would like to do is to be able to bring all of this down. I'm going to reduce it with some nitric acid, and then you can follow me through this process, but reduce this down and see how close I can get to recovering half of a troy ounce of silver. So that's what I'm going to do, and first step is to put both of these into a little nitric acid, and I'll go and do that. We got our pieces into some glassware there. In Utah it has snowed significantly, and so this will kind of help. This really heats up quite a bit once it gets going, and kind of keep it a little bit cool. I've got my helpers here, Gus there and Tubby there. They're going to help me figure this thing out. So I'm going to put a little nitric acid in this. I'm not going to put a whole bunch, but a little bit. Probably, let's try and go maybe a fluid out. Oh, that was a little too much. But we'll do it. That'll work. Put that down. Okay, just 1 minute. Get that lid on there. Okay, so you can kind of see it doing something at least, right? You can maybe see those fumes coming off. In a minute, there's going to be some reddish, brownish fumes coming off. It's nitrogen dioxide, and it's very, very potent stuff. So I'm doing that. So I'm doing that in the backyard instead of in the garage or something. Right, buddy? Let me speed this process up a little bit by pouring some water in there. Okay. By pouring a little bit of water in here, and then we'll see this really start to take off now. Bring this a little bit closer so that we can see the actual rings and stuff in there. So you can see that it's dissolving. I hope you can see that. Anyway, so I'm gonna let this go for a minute, come back and check on it in a few minutes and see how we're doing. Here it's going again. I'm pretty sure that the big long flat ring is sterling silver. It had a stamp on it, 0.925. I'm a little bit dubious about maybe that round ring. It had some stampings on the inside, but I'm not real sure that it was sterling. We'll find out. It might have been a lot of copper with that one, and I might have got hosed on that round one. But you can kind of see that it's taking a blue tint to it already. Let's see if we can get this. And I don't know if you can see that any better or not. But the it is taking a blue tint to it. Maybe if I set it down, that'll just slow it down though if I set it in the snow. And this nitric acid is wicked stuff. You know what, I'm just gonna set it over here and let it do its thing. I don't want to ruin anything at this point. Okay, I'll check back in a bit. So we're back out just a little bit later. You can see that it's starting to really work on those now and fizz away. That's good news. Shouldn't be too long now until those are completely dissolved, so that'll be good. Come back in a little bit. So now an obvious difference going on here. We've got a definite chemical reaction going on, dissolving that that sterling silver. And now I'm pretty sure that both of them are sterling, but you can see those little black floaties. That is, I believe that's silver that might have been taken out, and because it's so bright out here, turned that into a little bit of a black black specks. Anyway, this is not going to take very long at all now. It's going to be done dissolving this in no time. Also, you'll start to note that this this orangish brown gas that's coming off, the nitrogen dioxide, really hard on the lungs. And so I've got a pretty good breeze coming through here. It's not getting to me at all, but it is starting to come out a little bit more, starting to progress. We'll come back in a minute. So you can really see now that acid is dissolving that away pretty good, that brownish gas. Just fizzing away now. Those little black particles of silver in there. Pretty cool. Now you can see that all that is left is just a little bit of that ring, and it's going pretty quickly. That's from the top. From the bottom, let's see if we can get a shot of that going into solution. Pretty cool. So I don't know, another 5-10 minutes and that'll be gone itself. We'll come back in a bit. Another update here. We are almost all gone. Just a little bit left. Not much at all. A little bit left. A few steps there, but let me bring you up to speed. I have dissolved that sterling silver into solution, and then I dumped it out of solution using some potassium chloride. I could have used sodium chloride or salt, but I wanted to try this pharmaceutical grade or chemical grade potassium chloride. It dropped it down into a kind of a grayish liquid form, and then bringing it totally into its oxide, I used potassium hydroxide flakes or caustic soda, and that's what I have now. Now I just need to get it all out of that, and all the water out of it, and then I will be able to put it in a crucible and melt it. So I'm going to finish getting all of this out of the jar and into something that it can dry out on. So here it is, all strained through a couple of paper towels. Now I let this dry into a powder form, and from there I'll put it into a crucible, much like that one, and melt it down. Now again, we're going to hope for, what is it, we're going to hope that we can recover a half of a troy ounce from those two rings that we process. So let's see what we can do. I think there's a half of a troy ounce in there. I think there might be. It'll be fun to find out. So we're almost done. There's my button of silver. I just need to let it cool down, and then we'll weigh it up and see if we've got anything close to a troy ounce. I think it probably is. But let me let it cool down for a bit and then we'll weigh it up. So there it is, 13.625. That is my final, let's see, that's grams, right? Yeah, it's grams. So, means, let me think about this. Okay, so hang with me on the math here. So I have 13 point, I did it again, 615 divided by 31.1 equals 0.4377 of a troy ounce. So not even half of a troy ounce. So today's trading cost of a troy ounce is $17.21 of a troy ounce. So if we divide that by that, it comes out to be, this little button is worth $7.53 today. So it took me, the better part of 12 hours to make $7.53. However, that's pretty cool. At least I think it is. As pure silver as I can get it. There's a little bit of flux still on there. There's that little bit of flux, that dark color you see there. But I mean, that's just. I got rid of all the copper. Took it right down to the barest amount. That's silver at its purest that I can get it. So I would think maybe not, 99.99, but I would think 98%, something like that. Pretty darn good. Yeah, so that was kind of fun today.